Hello, I'm Angela, and I'm also known around here as Chaotic Neutral and Dog. This is my 5th update for my pan that slash those palette slash eyeshadows. I combine 2 eyeshadow panning projects into one video. I'm probably going to change that for next year, just saying. Before we get going, I do want to say I mentioned in like a community post how I've been feeling lately, but in the month of May, 2 major things happened to our nation, and one of those events, I'm trying not to use the words because I just don't want that in my videos, but if you know, you know, something happened in Buffalo and something happened in Texas. I live in Buffalo, I'm from Texas, and I'm a teacher, so both of these events really hit close to me, and the event in Buffalo, obviously, much closer. I knew one of the victims and had spoken to her the Friday before what occurred. So I've been dealing with all of that, and I warned you guys I probably wouldn't be doing a video. But here I am. I am truly struggling, not gonna lie. The Pride Parade's happening today. I don't feel like going. I'm not punishing myself and like trying to stay sad, but there's just been a lot going on mentally for me and also my students. It's not just me, obviously. It's, you know, people are going through much worse than me, but it's like all of us are going through trauma right now. All I can say is if you are struggling, you are not alone, and let's all work together to try to make the future better. That's what I tell my students. Basically, let's make this a better place for everyone. First thing to discuss will always be my Pan That palette, which is a bunch of singles that I've actually already hit pan on, so it's more like a finish them type of project instead of a panning project. As I mentioned last time, I have started to fill this whole palette up with shadows that I think would accompany my Pan That palette and my Pan Those eyeshadows really well. So you can see everything going on in here. And my Pan That palette are these 10 shadows up here. So this is what it's looking like right now. And hopefully you can see the growth, especially in Kezi. Like, I told you the middle of that pan was shallow, and you can see how big that pan has grown. Yep, yes sir. I used Kezi 16 times. Keep in mind, I have the whole month of May of uses and 5 days of June in uses too. So don't be surprised if it seems like I got more uses out of my shadows than normal. It's because I'm late in filming. But the other one that I used the most is Vermeer. I used Vermeer 7 times, mostly on like the brow bone and inner corner. And unfortunately, I did not use Don't Care at all. I didn't use Shell Ya at all either. Oh my gosh, the Don't Care at all almost just jumped ship. Probably because I just talked shit about it. At this point, at this juncture, I feel strongly that I can finish Kezi, Vermeer, and Eclipse. That's my Pan That palette. Love you. I can't wait to fill up this palette with more singles that I think would go well with everything. Look at all the sparkles. Now let's talk about what is the most exciting part for me, and that's my Pan Those eyeshadows. You'll be very proud of me. I remember to swatch. I swatched them in order of least uses to the most uses. So this is the color story. We got Why Not, Blackberry, You Peel Me, Twilight Flash, Creamsicle. I was getting no, Clementine. Clementine? No. I got the name completely wrong last video. Creamsicle. I kept calling it Clementine last time. Okay. So Clementine... Creamsicle? Creamsicle and Full Moon. So a Morphe shadow, Dominique Cosmetics, and a bunch of ColourPop right there. So this is the color story, and this is what we're going to jump into talking about right now. All right. The one that I use the least, why not up here, is from my Morphe Such a Gem palette. It has been getting some love, and it's really messy right now though, so ignore that. But why not is right there. That is why not. No pan. There's going to be no pan for a really long time. I didn't try it as an eyeliner look. I really should. I only used it 3 times. That's it. Only 3. But that's okay. You know, we'll get there. I'm worried because shadows in this palette, the pans usually are very deep. I'm gonna have to learn to love this shadow. It really is cute though. It's a good shadow. My only gripe with it is that it does feel like it disappears a little bit on the lid. Like it starts off saturated and then over time, not that much time, it becomes a little desaturated. So that's my main concern with that shadow. It's a Morphe shadow, you know, the quality, I'm not expecting it to be amazing, but the color is so beautiful that I want to just stay, you know? The next shadow we're going to talk about is from the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream palette. This one's gotten some love in this project over the years. And the one that rolled in is Blackberry. I know I am brave. I'm a brave person, right? For letting a black shadow get into my project. I know other project planners will totally exclude black from being in their projects, but for me, I'm okay with it in this case, all right? Probably not gonna let another black shadow roll in after I roll out this one. Not a crazy amount of use on it. I used it 5 times, but one thing I'll say is that my high schoolers had prom on Friday, and this was in my look. So I'll show you that look. I went to prom. In high school, I never went to my own prom, but it was really nice going to the prom of like my students. It was really heartwarming. I teared up afterwards because they all looked so beautiful and they were just young, beautiful adults, and they needed that. I needed that. I needed the little prom night to help with things. Help with my brain, help with my mental, you know? It was wonderful. So Blackberry is this great, it's a very high quality black matte. So I'm not mad that this black rolled in at all. Blackberry will still be in the project, which is fine. There's a lot of really bold mattes that are going to be discussed. So the next bold matte we're going to discuss is from the ColourPop Orangey Glad palette, and that is Ya Peel Me, and I'm going to cover the other shadow in this project, and Ya Peel Me is right there at the bottom. It's this more dark burnt orange, and I really do like it. It's in my look today in the inner corner and lined out a bit. Ya Peel Me I used 8 times. I am pretty happy with that. 8 uses of a orange matte. Happy with that. As you can tell, all the oranges are my most used. It was really easy to use all 4 of these together many times, so that was not an issue. And it's a good matte. It's a nice quality matte for sure. Thus far, 3 out of our 6 shadows in my project are staying in. I promise it gets better, and it gets better right away. The next shadow we're going to talk about is ColourPop's Sailor Moon collab, the Pretty Guardian palette. And I also have 2 shadows in here, and we're going to discuss Twilight Flash. And if you look, I have a beautiful, shiny, big pan. I am so happy I got pan on this. It took 31 uses in total and only 6 uses this past month. I used it 8 times because it is a very good blending out shade for my oranges. So I kept using it to blend out the edges of my orange looks. It's not in my look today. I hit pan on May 26th. So not that long ago, well, like 10 days ago, whatever. But you can see that big dip and that big pan. It took a lot to get to the pan, but it was definitely worth it. And now my palette has 3 shiny pans. The next shadow we're going to talk about is Clementine, and that is going to be in the Orange You Glad palette. I called it Clementine again. I called it Clementine again. It's creamsicle. I used creamsicle 9 times, and it is right up here. Play the B-roll. Creamsicle, as you can tell, has no pan in it. In the B-roll, you can see the dip, and I'll pop up the total of uses since it rolled in the project. But this past month, I used it 9 times. So similar to Twilight Flash, it's probably going to be in the 30s of uses. We will see. It's in my look, blending out You Peel Me in the inner corner and below this liner. So I got it going on. And those are the only shadows from my Pandas eyeshadows in my look today. And I used Kezi from my Pan That palette. I have several looks using all 3 of like the orange mattes I have in like a blush drapey look. I did like blush draping and an orange eye about 3 times, and I did it big. I did it exaggerated because I did want to use up more product. I think that's what helped me hit pan on Twilight Flash sooner rather than later, because I was using that on these like big blush drapey moments, blending out the whole edges. It was fun, like summer's happening and having a beautiful orange moment in the summertime feels very fresh, feels very citrus, you know, in a good way. Some OJ. The last shadow we're going to talk about is my only shimmer in this project, and it is from the Pretty Guardian ColourPop palette. This shadow rolled in last update, and I have a pan, all right? I have a pan. Oh my god, what? Look at all 4 of these diamond-like pans just sparkling. I had not used this shadow a lot at all before it rolled in. It was maybe used just a couple of times. I didn't like it. It's too subtle for me. What was good about Full Moon was it actually is very good with the oranges that I had because it's like a yellowy shimmer, but with a peachy orange flip to it actually. So it worked great with my peachy oranges. I used it a lot on my lid. I used it in my inner corner. It is kind of like a crumbly-ish shimmer. I had to build it up quite a bit to get even like this low level of shine. I'm happy that it's already out, but it is my only shimmer. Last update, I was worried I wasn't going to have any pans to show you. And the fact that I really pushed to get the 2 pans that I got with Twilight Flash and Full Moon, I'm really proud of myself for doing that. Let's move on to my favorite part of this update situation. For the first time in the history of this project, and I've been doing this project for 3 years, for the first time, I'm including literally all of my eyeshadows. So in past updates and years doing this, I've always excluded newer palettes from the project. I don't want like the challenge of trying to hit pan on new shadows. And like I'm already excited about this palette, so I don't need to be encouraged to hit pan on any of these shadows. I'm using the shadows because I'm excited about the new palette. So I never felt the need to have new palettes in the rotation for eyeshadow selection. But it was getting to be a pain to keep track of everything. And I noticed that I would just forget to put the new palettes into my spreadsheet and let them be part of the project. And even though I was like, oh, I'm excited about this new palette, I'm gonna use it anyways, a lot of the times I ended up not using my new palettes at all because I was so focused on my Pan Those eyeshadows. Like I was using my Pan Those eyeshadows the most by far, and none of my new palettes were getting the love that I expected them to get. Anyways, long-winded. But yeah, for the first time, we will include every single shadow from my collection. Obviously except glitters. You know I don't include glitters. So I'm going to roll in new shadows. I don't accept shadows that look like any of my Pan Those eyeshadows or Pan That palette. So I've actually put all of my palettes into Tiny Decisions, the app, and we will roll that way to figure out which shadows will come in. So I'll roll for the palette. This is my Tiny Decisions wheel thing, and we're gonna see how this goes. So, how do I do this? Okay, I just tapped it. I'm blind. What is it? Claropsyche, Psyche's box! Okay, so that palette's coming in, and let's try another one. I love that palette, but it is full of mattes, so hopefully this is going to be a palette full of shimmers. Okay, ColourPop Sailor Moon palette again. I just rolled out the two Sailor Moon shadows, Twilight Flash and Full Moon, and now it's coming back in, and I know there's only one shimmer in there with no pan, and I don't like that shimmer. Let me get the one palette that isn't in the room right now. I'm back, and now let's go to Pretty Random to figure out what shadow from the Claropsyche Psyche's box palette I will get. These two shadows with pan will not be included, and the black will not be included because I already have a black in here. So all of these are able to be apart. My minimum will be 1 and my max will be 9, and we will randomize right before your eyes. That's not it. 5. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I think it's the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Life on Mars, baby. You can tell the usage, or I'll show some B-roll. I've used this blue matte quite a few times. These mattes are always so buttery feeling. So there it is. It's a baby blue. When you think of a typical sky blue, this is what this color is. So there is that matte. The shadows in this palette are actually really easy to hit pan on, even though the colors are really bright, really bold. I'm not worried about hitting pan on this. If I really focus and get into my sky blue energy, I think I could hit pan for next update. So I'm gonna try. The next shadow that will roll in will be from this palette. I'm worried, but there's also some fun shadows in here. Oh wait, I forgot about Silver Crystal. That's right there. I do really enjoy Silver Crystal a lot. So the shimmer I don't like so much is this purple. I hope Silver Crystal rolls in, but I also will not be mad if any of these mattes below roll in. So there's 7 shadows eligible in this palette. This palette is getting love this year. Oh my gosh. So from 1 to 7, and let's roll. I don't trust it. Yeah. Oh, 2. Hallelujah. Silver Crystal did roll in. So 1, 2, Silver Crystal. It's an icy pink shimmer with lots of sparkle, very crumbly. So I could hit pan on this one too, potentially. Look at it. Look. Like Full Moon, meh, okay. You're cute or whatever. but oh my gosh. Let me swatch the other shadows from this side that will stay in my project so we can witness what the new color story will be looking like, okay? Welcome back, Angela. Thank you. Oh my god, I'm so happy to be here. The new color story is this. Look at the change. Like, warm toned, and now with that blue and the silver crystal, I think it looks so fun. There's a lot of different things I can do with this color story. I've just been going like a lot in the video, so sorry for like yoinking my arm up. It's funny how like these old ones, I'm not confident about hitting pan on any of them at all, but the new ones I feel like I can hit pan on for next update. With Twilight Flash and Full Moon now having pan, I have a pan percentage of 17.88 out of my whole collection. I hope you're doing well mentally and physically. It is trying times out there. We just have to keep fighting for the good, fighting for the good things in our lives. Till next time, viewers, I will see you later. Bye.